let's check out what we got going on here. So I did finish up painting the jetpack for the most part, or the backpack. Stick with me if you can tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and record the session so you guys can. And here you see we got the psycho frame painted to the color of the rest of the suit, as well as the engine. The first two engines on the other ones are on a different set, so we're gonna get to those in a moment. So we have to put those in there, but that's all right. Got the brace there all painted up, and that's holding onto these just absolutely massively open shields. They're just so big in the first place, but pretty cool though as well. Love the fact that they're shields and weapons. It'll sit right here in the back of the backpack, but the big thing that we're going to look at tonight is these guys. So this was originally a bluish, excuse me, these are white. They're supposed to be bluish in color for the perfectibility, but we painted in the psycho frame, and then of course give them gold to match the gold antennas or V-fin that we did here as well. So I'm gonna pull off the masking tape. I haven't seen what the final piece looks like in this instance, and so I'm super stoked to put these all together and make this piece of the Gundam happen. We do have some pieces to do though for pieces that attach to it as well. They are the beam saber holders, and this is the back of, I don't know what they call the extra psycho frame stuff in general. So once again, sorry for the jumpy video and audio today. ISP is being a little bit of a pickle. So how are we going to get those things off? Well, there's two different ways. That masking tape was very hard to get in there in the first place. And so how are we going to get off is actually a pair of pointed tweezers. These are what's going to be our big thing here. So I actually ended up noticing that when I was painting this portion, I had to put some extra masking tape around the edges so that it actually didn't spill over onto the white too much. Still had some issues with it, but overall it still kept its two-tone coloring. It was particularly difficult in the joints there, which still looks like I need to go back and clean up a little bit. And I'm going to actually clean that up by using an X-Acto knife, and we'll see that here as well, to just scrape off that paint as well. Oh, nice that you just finished the series Gundam Build Fighters. Hopefully, was it the first one? If it was the first one, I kind of like that one. The Build Fighters Try, maybe not so much for me specifically. Alright, so let's get so we got the edges. You can see they're still a little bit dirty. Nothing, a little bit of scraping is not going to be able to take care of for us. To keep those edges nice and clean. But so this is actually all that hard work just to get this line on the inside. So I'm going to be very gentle here. These pointed tweezers, oh man, look at that. That first one came out good. Yes! I don't know if you guys are excited as I am, but look at that. We got the shine of the gold. We got the psycho frame color that matches the rest. That was... yeah, it's going to look good. So I'm going to grab the other one. Hopefully it turned out just as high quality. I'm not going to lie. This paint job has been a lot more challenging than I thought. I was planning on leaving most of the Gundam white, which is still true. We're leaving a lot of it white. But it's these finer little pieces in here that I didn't recognize at first. You can see we got a little bit of black paint over there on the edges, but no big deal. This will just literally just scrape off with the nail. The reason why that's the case is because I didn't prime this, so it scrapes off really easily. You can also use alcohol to get rid of some of it, but I like to use the blade. It's a little bit more precise in this instance. And then let's get off this other masking tape. It was so much work just for that little line. I feel like. I think it took me like an hour to mask this off all correctly. For both pieces, excuse me, for all the pieces involved. There we go. Now this one was also very, very hard, but looking at the pictures, the good thing is that this went up all the way up into here. And so we were able to get the paint all the way up in there too, so it should look very, very similar to what we have below. There, look at that. That is a fun little touch. Just the accuracy. It's super awesome. Oh yeah. It's just... Now I did use 3mm tape for this, and then I cut off any extra access, fresh new blade for this one. Eva Mikey, thanks for sharing that it was the first one. But that's how I was able to get my masking tape into these very difficult to get into areas. That it came out so much better than I was hoping it would. But it's key, even though the painting and the masking was hard, this is also just as delicate to make sure we take off the masking tape with so much care as to not scratch these pieces, because we definitely do not want to try to repaint them. That particular line, the one that I was worried about the most, came out probably the cleanest. You know, I actually have a few Build Fighter kits that I've completed. I've got a couple more. I got my battle log kits that I'm going to consider underneath the same, because they're just rehashes of the actual Gunplas. But I've got Y Sanaju, what is that? Oh, which one is it? Build Fighters Strike Gundam? I can't remember it. Finiche Ricosta, Amazing A to Z, Comfort. Oh yeah, that one came out really good. The Comfort from Build, Amazing Comfort, that was awesome. And then this one's actually from Tribe, but No Name Astray. That was the other unit that I have. So I am super stoked. Let's see what this is gonna look like all together. Especially because this kind of color scheme for this one does not exist in the real. I have not seen anybody else do it yet, so not saying I'm the first, but on the sources that I've been looking at, I have not seen Perfect Ability painted like this. Not trying to win any bragging rights or beauty competitions, but it's just awesome to see one of these custom paint jobs come to life. And I did it again. There we go. I left a piece of tape on there. Looks like it needs a good cleaning though on the other side though still. I didn't bring it up here with me, but just a little bit of alcohol and a cotton swab to clean up any excess paint. You can't see much of it on camera, but there's some small speckles there. Oh goodness, I'm doubting myself. I gotta make sure I've got it right. I think it's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't know why I had any doubts. There it is. And this is the outside. Oh, look at that. Yeah. This is quite an intense backpack when you think about it. With all these parts on it. So outside of those two thrusters that go underneath it, there is the full backpack. It's pretty intense actually. Especially for a high grade. This is a high grade model. But there we go. I'm gonna put this to the side because now I'm very excited to work on the torso tonight and get that finished up. I do actually have all the torso pieces painted in addition to that. So we should be able to mount it all together at the end of it all. Especially because, oh, though, there's one gray piece that I did not do. Two gray pieces, dang it. To leave or not to leave? That is now the serious question. One piece snaps on top. Okay, the other piece goes inside. Let's do it, let's check it out, and then we can make our final decisions. Getting out the back here first. These little extra flaps in the front. These shoulder bendable joints. the actual chest unit. Alright, all clipped out. What we need from that. Now we need a few PC pieces. Right up in here. PC, couple A pieces as well. We're gonna get out that. It's called the neck area. Neck frame. Technical terms. And if things go well enough, when we have enough time, we're actually probably going to jump to the shoulders. A little bit of scribing will need to be done there. Because that's the route I've chosen to go with, is scribing versus seam line repair. Just a few scribe lines to fix it up. Here we got our single blades. Probably gonna need a little bit of sandpaper to get this down just right. We're gonna go with the MadWorks. So we can go through all the grits here specifically for it. Alrighty, that's literally all that was needed for that. That's great. So these are going to go on the correct way, of course. I definitely think that with this Gundam, instead of these being clear portions, like making a candy coat of some kind, makes them look much more realistic, if you ask me. This goes on right there. I do love how that looks though. How that kind of opens up, and I know it doesn't open up in this specific kit. The real grade and master grades do. Which, speaking of which, I did get the Perfect Ability Unicorn in real grade format as well. This past Gundam Expo. I missed it last time, like it sold out like immediately. But this time I was able to get a little bit of luck on my side here. And so I got a unicorn, real grade, perfect ability. The only problem with it is that it came with sticker decals. I'm super surprised by that versus water slides. But hey, it's what it is. I can live with those stickers. What I really should do is buy those water slides and then use those stickers for this high grade. As long as I can find them. Alright, there's the full chest, front of the chest assembled. Just like that. Alright, clip those out. Now, due to the fact that there is some pieces here, we're actually going to sand them down a little bit. With it being snapped together, like such. No middle pieces in yet. We're going to sand across there. This could use actually probably, I think we'll scribe it. It's scribed like that on other kits. So we're going to do that. Pull out some scribing tape. I got a big scribing head in comparison. Just go a little bit smaller. And it is amazing for your scribing tool, like how much a little, like we're talking about 0.2 millimeters changes up in your panel lines. It's quite crazy. So this one is 0.4. Yeah, this is a 0.4. And the maximum is 1 millimeter. Oh. But I really like this scribing tool. I found it on Amazon for like, I don't know, $10. But it ended up being really, really good. If you ask me. Especially for $10 purchase. Use it a lot, the blades work well, and it came with its own guide tape. And I have yet to run out of it. It also helps that I have a second roll, but I haven't gone through this one even close yet, I feel like. And I've had it since, oh goodness, when did I get it? Early 2019? As a matter of fact, yeah. So for this one, I'm actually putting it right next up against the piece itself, like the line of the piece itself. So wherever it's separating, that's where I'm putting my guide tape up against. Because I'm just going to follow, I'm basically making that seam taller, so I can actually just scribe much more easily next to it. It's not about pressure, it's about number of strokes. Count them out. I'm going to go 20 both ways. Take that back. 21 way, 10 the other. 10 looks really, really good on the other way. There we go. Looks nice. It's a good panel line. They started doing that with their newer kits in general. I'm surprised this one didn't partake in that. That method and style of merging the front and back plates together. And it's amazing because you would never see that probably within the anime itself, like unless they're doing like an up close of, I don't know, I don't even know what piece they'd have to do up close of. Underneath the arm, yeah, that's where we'd have to go to get that shot. But all right, here we go, other side. That went fast. Yeah, one more. Alrighty, got our other panel line. Still the best way to fix seams at a high grade, if you ask me. Alright, now we're going to sand these down because there was some nubs here in general. Using soft sponges, nothing hard here, especially because now we have that seam line. We're repair through the panel line. So we're not going to use any flat sandpaper here to kind of ruin the effects of it. Just looking to get rid of the nubs. Make some things even a bit. Sometimes it actually really becomes hard to sand white parts because it's hard to see what you sanded and what you didn't. So I'm actually using the glare of the light overhead to kind of help me to define my spots. Hey, sorry if I lost you there for a second. Once again, internet outage. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for staying tuned. A lot of silence today as we're building. Just in a focus build mode. Bear with it, we're going to see just a few more things here. Going to finish up the torso, add this backpack to it, and it's going to look super awesome. I'm super stoked for it to see it all come together here. And when I mean it all comes together, just like the torso. We still have a lot of work left to do for the legs, lots of painting. That's where most of the painting is at for this Gundam, is in the legs, having done some previous unicorns. And there we go. All sanded down. We're actually going to take a brush this time and clean out our scribe lines specifically. And you can see we got it right there. Ooh, super tight. Alright, but we are in some good shape. Oh, totally forgot to clip an edge off there. Little nub hanging on. I always forget which way these fit in, but there it is. Got it. Alright, got both nubs off this one. Here's that. Bottom torso piece. The piece that merges the top part to the bottom part. There's that. And just along for the ride today, is going to be this piece. Oh man, and I forgot to put the ball joint on the inside. I'm going to be so good at taking this one apart. These pieces are easily bending without that PC piece in there. Dang, that gets tight. There's that. I'm gonna clean these up a little bit. And finally, head unit with the chest. Ooh, and that is super tight. There we go. I'm not gonna lie though, that looks pretty wicked in its final form here. There's our top half perfectibility pretty much done. Excuse me. It's actually quite heavy as well. See here for size comparison on the face camera. But yeah, it's a big boy. It's quite large right now. So our next piece that we're going to probably focus on though is getting these shoulders taken care of. These shoulders are actually, so I've painted the part that needs to be painted for it. And we should be able to have our weapons attached there as well. So that's exciting too. And so, however, granted, we are at time, so we will finish up these arms next time. We will work on the torso, not the torso, excuse me, the waist armor specifically as well. Thanks for sticking around. I know there's been some hiccups today with the internet, and so for those that are watching on YouTube, thanks for taking the time there as well. So we will catch you all next week. We're actually it's gonna be up to you guys whether or not we're going to do a Gundam Wings Day. I'm thinking it's because it's before Thanksgiving. We should maybe call it a night and maybe not have it. But hey, if you guys want to see it, I'm happy to show it. So with that being the case, just drop me a line, let me know. Either way, have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your time. If you're spending it with family, friends, whatever the case is, thanks for sticking a little bit with me. We'll talk to you later.